Hello everyone, Alex RC Freak here, coming at you with a repair video on my Losi 5T. Okay, let me start off by saying it's a fun truck. It's a new truck to my collection. It's one that I've always really wanted very much. I'll be doing more videos of this. This is like my new favorite. So anyway, long story short, let me get you a close up here. Check this out. I smacked the curb at about 40 miles an hour and did this little dealio right there. Yes, I tried to, janky rig this aluminum piece, because I smacked a pole and it cracked this arm right here. And I tried to janky rig it together to work so that way I can half-ass drive it. And I used half-inch. This is half-inch from here to here is half-inch. And it's aluminum. It's a U-shape aluminum, if you notice there. I don't know, you probably couldn't see it very well, but how it wraps around on this side does the same thing on the bottom. And I just drilled it. I drilled it with four 4mm screws I put in there to kind of hold the arm together, and just to get me by until I get the new A-arms. Now, yeah, it's ugly looking. Don't get me wrong. So I went on eBay, right? What everyone does, when they break something, or most people do, and try to find the best deal. Well, the King Motor X2 or the Roven LT305, LT320, LT450 are the clones of these, okay? So they sell parts on eBay, and this is the part I got. Now, I ordered 2 packages, and this is the right side. I got 3 left rear control arms. 3 left rear control arms. I'm pretty pissed off about it. I'm not kidding. And I know some people are like, well, I get pissed off over that. Yeah, you're right, but it's very irritating when you're supposed to get a left and a right side in each package. I ordered 2 packages of the rear and 2 packages of the front, and you get 2 left ones in the first package, and the second one you get a left and a right. But check this out. I maybe should have stopped being a cheap ass and just went with Losi. So check out the molding quality on this. It's just garbage. Like, I should have got a Losi part. Like, check this out. If my camera will focus here. I don't know if it will. Yeah, see how this molding right here? See how that's all shitty? Like, look at that. Isn't that all, like, shitty? Like, Roven, seriously, this is your guys' product quality control. I mean, I know you come from China, so you can't really expect a whole lot. But, I mean, seriously, at least, because even the Roven clones, which, before I ever got the Losi 5T here, the Roven clones are right now, because I was just on their website today, after I saw this shit, the Roven clones are, for the 45cc one, is selling for $1,043 or $49. So $1,050 for the truck, and that's a clone. And the quality, I don't know. I mean, the arm, it feels pretty strong, just like the actual Losi ones, no joking aside. It's just that molding concerns me a bit. But other than that, it looks okay. So I don't know, maybe I just got unlucky and got maybe the shit set of A-arms. But I messaged them about the 2 left side in one package. I messaged them about that. And, yeah, so, anyway. Okay, and let me also say I did a mod. I'm doing a mod, okay? So you know how you can get dirt guards to protect your lower control arms? Well, I made some. So anyway, I drilled 3 holes right there, and right there. So let me show you here. Let me step back a little bit. So this is the dirt guard right here. So this is what I made. So this goes towards the tire side. The tire fits right in here. Even with the Proline MX43 tires, they fit just nicely. These are the holes. These are drilled with a 1/8 inch drill bit or a 4mm drill bit. So you use 3 4mm screws to install it. These are screws I had in my extra pile. These are the screws right here. And they're about I would say they're 4mm. They're button head style by 10mm long, I would say. So, and they screw in there, and then this goes right, this is where your sway bar, this hole right here is where your sway bar goes in the sway bar lower ball joint goes into the control arm. So this end right here goes towards the so basically the arm's going to be like this on the car, okay? Because the shock's in the back. The arm's going to be like this. So you stick this on and you use that hinge pin. How I did it is I have this captured by the hinge pin over on this side, and then the 3 screws, and you can still access your sway bar, and it goes around the end there. This end right here is dipped up because you have that spacer in there, that C-clip spacer, that plastic spacer factory. So basically it goes like this. And see, the nice thing about these dirt guards that I made is they're 1/8 inch thick plastic, like a nylon type plastic, black. And there's a smooth end. See, this is kind of the smoother end. And then there's this rough kind of looking end. But yeah. So anyway, I left this hole in that big huge hole for that bolt for the sway bar link. And it goes just like that. And it'll protect all this driveline components, because when it's on, it'll be like that. And I got it installed on the other side, and it actually looks really slick. But see how it goes over this? Just a little bit higher than this? A 1/4 inch maybe or so, or maybe 1/2 inch. So that way it truly keeps the dirt and everything off the axle. Team Chase makes some, and I'm not talking junk here. Team Chase makes some, and it's just a little tiny section that goes right here. You know, what's that going to cover? That ain't going to cover up garbage, you know? So I made some. That's how thick they are. I may be making these for production use. So comment below if you guys would like me to do that. I may be doing that and selling them for a bargain. You know, if you guys are interested, let me know. I'm going to be doing something with the front. They work slick. I got one on the other side, and I have a Bartolone Racing unsilenced tuned pipe chrome. And as you can see, like, well, let's just go over and show you here. So this is it installed on the other side. Let's see if I can get you in there. That's what it looks like on the other side. And it does not rub on the exhaust. You have full suspension. It's hard to do it with one hand. But you have full suspension motion. And it's like literally like 3 millimeters from rubbing. It's like 3 or 4 millimeters from rubbing on this exhaust right here. So you have at least 4 millimeters, I'd actually say, to be on the safe side. 4 millimeters, and it does not rub on the differential case. Nothing. It doesn't touch this. It doesn't touch this mount right here. It doesn't do that. It clears it just fine. So I just want to let you guys know and state that, because, you know, I'm the guy that tries to do stuff clean. Like I say, that's the beauty of this hobby, is it's kind of home built, custom, you know, on some things. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just want to get that off my chest. So basically what you need to do, because what we're going to do is take off this control arm. So what you need to do, which I've already done, is their M4, their 4 millimeter metric socket, or Allen, metric Allen, that go right here. There's 2 screws. There's one right there, and then there's one right there. So there's one there, and then there's one there. You can kind of see it in the corner there. See if I can get you a better view of it. It's kind of hard to see at this angle, but here, maybe you can see it like right there. So one's right there, and the other one's right there. So you're gonna have to remove those screws. They are long. So I did it by hand. I'm telling you, maybe a drill or something would help out tremendously. These are socket head style. So I removed those, and you're gonna need a. Well, since I'm replacing this controller, obviously I'm going to have to remove everything. So I'm going to have to remove this screw. That's a 3 millimeter right there. And then I'm going to have to remove this sway bar link on this side right here. This thing. And then you will have to remove this little ball end right here. Or you don't have to. I got to pop it on, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably remove it from this. I'll leave it on the arm. Then once I get the arm off, I'll remove it. I got the upgraded hinge pin set with the flanged nuts, 8 millimeter nuts on both ends. This is my Hostile Racing hub with the bigger bearings in it. But see, I got the nuts on these, so the E-clip style pins, the factory ones won't pop off. So yeah. Like I say, I apologize for this ghetto rigged arm. I had to do something. You know, I'm an RC fanatic. You know, I'm like an RC drug addict. So yeah. But, you know, at least I'm not doing drugs. Just saying. But anyway, let's get started here. So I already pre-loosened this. It should be able to get it off by hand. So I'm just going to take this like so. and just simply turn it. Make sure to not lose this washer right here. It's a flat washer. You got a flange nut. Make sure you set that aside where you will not lose them. This pin should come out. Now, if this pin has any type of residue on it or anything like that, just make sure to clean it up a little bit. It won't hurt, you know what I mean? So I'll try to do my best to keep everything in view so you guys can see it. And yeah, I'm going to take this out. I'll pause the camera, take that out. It's kind of a long screw. There's a 4mm screw back here. It's a bump stop, kind of grub screw. It's actually a grub screw, but it's a bump stop, so the control arm doesn't go down so far. It kind of keeps it at the right, whatever angle you prefer. Yeah, so basically when you do loosen that, you can take this bumper, pop that off, take this cap, just like so, and do that. So you can just pop this out of your way, and then you just take this, you know, hinge pin cap, set that aside. You pop that off. You gotta lift it up, and then you can just do this. You can just pop off one side. I'm gonna take the whole thing off, just to make sure it, you know, I don't have any issues. You can take off this hostile racing thing. Your drive line will also come out. With your rear axle drive, you know, not drive line, your rear axle will come out. Set that aside. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna set it aside on the rig. So, yeah, just bear with me. I'm going to take out the screw, and then I'll be right back, and this should just be ready to pop off. Like, you just do that, and this is the clip I'm talking about. You do not want to lose. Yeah, see this right here? Let me show you. This is a perfect example. See, this is a 1/2 inch wide, and it curves around. I should have put the screws there. I drilled all the way through. I should have put some more screws right there, and it probably would have been a little stronger, but yeah, it's whatever. But here's the thing. You want to make sure you don't have any bent hinge pins. But that's the clip you do not want to lose, and that goes towards the front of the vehicle. When you reinstall this, make sure you have that right. And you can put it in the back if you want. It's whatever you want to do. I have them towards the front of the vehicle. So, yeah. Let me take out the screw, and then we will finish it up. Alrighty, so I got the hinge pin in there in the control arm. This is the right side. Make sure you get that right. I got this droop screw, is what they call it. It's basically a long grub screw threaded through there. That's a 4mm Allen. Got the plastic thing on there, being careful to not lose that. Got the holes drilled in the air for the 4mm screws. And then you got that one screw there. You got the sway bar link here. I popped it back on. Make sure not to lose that little grub screw in there. And yeah, it still works. So I'm going to thread this on real quick. Just take it, stick it in the air. It's like so. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see that. See if I can bring it down for you. Hold on here. Readjust this because so here's just a quick look at how bad this arm was I guess tweaked. Like, ouch. Look at that. Yikes. I'm going to save these screws, by the way. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you just check that side. So I'm going to screw this together. It's all in good fun, you know? So anyway, take this. See if I can line it up there. Alright, so use a 3mm wrench. Start threading it in there. May have to use a little bit of pressure. Like it's tight. Yeah, and then you got your screw in. So, what I'm going to do now is take and put that guard on there. This little clear guard. Or not clear, I don't know why I said that. This guard. Gonna do that right now at the moment. So, yeah, so that way it's done right. Take my pin. Could have took that whole hub out. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll put it on. Because it needs it. What I'm going to do for that is I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab my electric driver and do that. So, got my electric hyper torque or hyper tough, whatever, driver. I'm going to take my 3 screws, the 4mm by 10 button head style. I'm going to stick this on there like that. Take one of these screws, kind of stick it in there, do a light little turn, or could just try it like this. Sticking it on here, maybe kind of tricky. It's going to be kind of tricky. A little bit. Okay, let's see if we can. See, and you just thread it on like that, and it'll hold it in place, and you can do the other ones. It seems to work really slick, actually. So, yeah, the gears are getting stripped out in this thing, so yes, it sounds like garbage. I know. It doesn't sound good. The gears are getting pretty bad in it, so what can you do, you know? Now what I like to do is take a 2.5mm Allen blue one with a good tip on it and just tighten them by hand. Just make sure they're tight, you know what I mean? And I'll show you. And if you notice, see, after you're done, you have enough room for the Allen there to have access to it. You have your 3 screws in, which is more than enough to hold it. I mean, that sucker's in there. It's in there tight. So, you know, you got room for this. So it's not going to, you know, this is usually not going to hit. It's going to sit right there. It's going to protect everything. And yeah, you know, it's a good thing to have. So anyway, take your hinge pin, slide it on through, take this, your hinge pin, stick it in the slot there, take this, make sure you tighten your, I like to do this flush with the end of the rod here, if you notice. Here, let me show you here. I know it's kind of a mess, I apologize. But I like to do the actual sway bar link, the flush with this ball right on the end here. So that way it is good. And then you're going to want to take a shock, stick it on through to the highest shock, well, if you can get it in there, the highest shock position. You can take this thing sometimes and move it around to where you can fit this all the way through, and then you can take this, stick it around just like that, and just take your driver here, and you put some force into it to get it started. It should thread itself in. Yeah, see, it's threading itself in just nicely. Just super nicely. It's tight. It's a little tight here. It would be amazingly easier with a drill, or, you know, maybe a ratchet. But anyway, I'm not perfect by any means. But You want to grab this. I got a loose nut there, so you want to make sure to. Whoops. I know what you're thinking. Like, what are you doing, Alex? Looks like a mess right now at the moment. So, take this, stick it in there. Now you want to take your pin here. I'm going to get up close here and show you as much as I can here. As closely as I can. So, you want to take this pin, stick it through. Make sure the washer's on it. You may have to move around your, rear hub carrier. Just a little bit, but it does fit through there very nicely. Like how, as you can tell, I did. It fits in there really nice. Making sure the axle is seated in the drive cup here. Make sure, because I've did it before. Everyone has. If you say you haven't, you're lying to yourself. Everyone has. Now these, you don't want to crank these tight, because if you do, it can cause binding in your suspension. So what I like to do for this is actually grab needle nose pliers on one end of that, or another 8mm, and I just use this Team Associated wrench here, and I just snug it. That's all I need to do. That's all I need to do is flush both ends, I snug it. The suspension is still free. I don't got this hooked up right here, so I don't have that hooked up yet. So what I'm going to do is make sure this tab goes into the chassis. There's a spot in the chassis. See if I can get you in there. So this groove right here is for the bumper. This piece of the bumper, see that little tab on the back? I don't know if I can show you. See that little tab on the back right there? This tab right there goes right into this first groove. This groove back here, this second groove right here, that's where this little tab goes into. Right here. So now there's going to be wear marks on this. This is upside down. Yes, I know. And it's a little close to the camera. I know that too. But see how it's wearing on there? That's normal. But you want to stick that in towards the arm side. So take this under your other arm, stick it on like that. Now you can take your arm you have here, stick it on like so. Now sometimes this can kind of be a little bit of a pain. You got to move the arms around sometimes. But see how it popped in and dropped down? You want to do that. You want to make sure it pops in, drops down. So do not forget your cap. Okay? Bam. Make sure you stick that on there like so. Okay, now take your bumper. You gotta push it back and then in and down. It should just pop in like that, and it should hold everything. Then you want to take your screws. Now these are kind of a pain in the rear to get, at least from what I've personally experienced. You know what I mean? Like I say, I did not get this truck brand new. They're not bent or anything, nor damaged. It's just they can be tight to mess with. Sorry if my hands are in the way. You gotta kind of hold it down. Sometimes tap them in, thread them in.